उद्धरेदात्मनात्मानां नात्मानां अवसादयेत् आत्मैव हि आत्मनो बंधु आत्मैव रिपु आत्मनः. Lift yourself through the power of your mind. Do not degrade yourself, for mind is your best friend and mind can be the worst enemy. Today is a historic day. Today is the day when a special session of Indian Parliament is going to be convened to pass the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam and to have the very epitome of Nari Shakti in India, Padma Bhushan Srimati Sudha Murty amidst us on this day is a day of honor for all of us at Vishal Bharti Public School. Think of the early 1970s, a small town of Hubli in Karnataka, to have 150 children and to be the only girl in the college, to not even have the facility of a washroom. And then, what strength of mind, at what strength of conviction was it that made her not only ace the college, but also receive the gold medal from the then Chief Minister of Karnataka, Shri Devraj Urus. Think of 1974. There is a paper ad for Telco Corporation asking for engineers. But at the bottom, it says only the male candidates need to apply. What strength of conviction was it that made her write a letter to the chairman of Tata Sons, Mr. J.R.D. Tata, asking him to revise his policy. And not to stop just there, asking him to revise his policy, acing the interview, and joining as the first women engineer at Telco's shop floor. Rabindranath Tagore said, "Ekla chalo re," to tread on the path which has not been treaded before, and to pave the way for the future generation of boys and girls. This is what the life lesson of Padma Bhushan Srimati Sudha Murty is about. Robert Frost talked about two paths diverging in the woods and how choosing the less traveled one made all the difference. There have been many such cornerstone moments in her life, whether it was a choice of doing engineering over medicine, or was it the choice of pursuing her PhD at MIT versus working in telco. She always chose the path which was difficult and worked back-breakingly hard to make it a success. Patanjali, in his Yoga Sutras, talks about yoga and yogis. Yoga karamsu kaushalam. कर्म को कुशलता से करना यही सबसे बड़ा योग है. And madam, in whichever sphere and endeavor of life you have touched, whether as a teacher, whether as an engineer, whether as a professor, as a parliamentarian, or a social worker, or a writer, you have shown and been an exemplar of what a true karma yogi is. Nowadays, we hear a lot about startups, venture capital, angel investing. But madam, we can argue that you are amongst the first of the angel investors in India. Who doesn't know the 10,000 rupees invested by you in the Infosys Corporation and making it the billions of dollars in the market capitalization in today's value? Rabindranath Tagore said that I slept and thought life was a joy. I got up and realized that life is a service, and I acted, and behold, service became joy. In whichever sphere of life, ma'am, you have worked via Murthy Trust and Infosys Foundation, whether healthcare, education, the work with the Devadasis, you have shown what the true service is and the model for the Indian corporate houses and big businesses to give back to the society. In our tradition, Goddess Saraswati is the goddess of Vidya, and Goddess Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth. Ma'am, you have been amply blessed by both of them, and it is our honor at Vishal Bharti to welcome you, and my singular honor to ask you a few questions. Thank you, ma'am. The first question, ma'am, I'd like to ask you is that we have heard Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. What do you think is the role of teachers and educationists in the making of modern India?
Good morning, children, teachers, and management people. Probably, I attend many functions. Probably you are one of the few people who have introduced me properly. Other people go on telling me, then I realize, it's not me, someone else. I really liked the Robert Frost. Many times I think of that. There are always choices in life. And why did I choose the hard? Maybe path less traveled always attracted me. Apart from that, I consider teaching is a great profession, and that's the reason. And I'm really impressed by these shlokas, which very few people know. Atmahi atmano bandhur atmahi ripo atmana. This is a quote I used to tell when I was an engineering student. Boys never talked to me because they felt a new zebra has come to the zoo. I did not have any friends for 8 semesters. Then who is my best friend? I said in my mind, Atmahi atmano bandhur atmahi ripu atmana. Bandhur atmana atmasya. Then he says, Shitoshna dukha dikkeshu yatha mana apamana yoya. So I was so surprised that what was in my mind, you spoke that. Atmahi atmano bandhur. Teachers play an important role, and that's the reason in Upanishad, they say, in Kathopanishad it comes, in Taittiriya Upanishad, there are 33 stanzas. Who are the most important people in one's life? It is irrespective of AI, irrespective of the 1,000-year history, 2,000-year history. There are some values that are permanent. And these are the permanent values and permanent respected people. That's what Taittiriya Upanishad says. And when children are leaving Gurukula, that time the teacher calls and says, these are my 33 commands to you to lead a good life. Okay? I used to think when I was young, like them, oh, that was told 5,000 years back. As time passed, I became a teacher, and I progressed in life with age. I realized it is irrespective of caste, community, language, no barrier, but these remain same. The first one is Matru Devo Bhava. Mother deserves the highest respect. And everything has a price in life except mother's love. That's the reason our ancestor wrote, Matru Devo Bhava. That doesn't mean father is less. Men in this August gathering should excuse me. His expression is different. Mother's expression is different. That's the reason he comes second in the hierarchy. It is Pitru Devo Bhava. Then who is the third one? Acharya Devo Bhava. The one who teaches you. The one who teaches you even a single letter, he becomes an Acharya. And he or she is the third in the hierarchy. That means teacher have the third in the hierarchy of one person's life to make his or her character strong. I owe my success greatly to my teachers. No, because people say, oh, my husband helped my children, helped my parents. Yes, they did. But my teachers made me what I am. Yesterday I was in a school, I was telling them, when I was in a class 8th, we used to have diagrams. In those days there was no smart boards and all. There will be a big board and a chalk piece, and the geometry riders were written. My teacher used to tell me, his name was Veranekar, you both take your both hands and tie at your back. That means you can't touch a pencil and a paper like this, both hands, and solve the problem. He would not tell others, he will tell me, and I used to get really upset with me. Why only punish me? I was good in maths, but why he is punishing me? I solved all the problems without any pen and pencil with my mind. And when I passed 10th class, I asked my teacher, sir, why did you punish me for that? Those days 11 classes was 10 SSLC they used to call. 8, 9, 10, 11, 4 years we had to study. Olden days. Sir, why did you punish me 4 years? Whereas other people you did not. He said, later I will tell you. Later I did my engineering, then went back to him and asking, why did you do that with me? He said, beta, I realized you had a potential, a logical potential and a good, fairly good memory. A lazy, normally you will be lazy. Take a pen and pencil, then it will not register in your mind. Then you look at the pencil and you write. Nowadays you look at the mobile and you write, not in pen and pencil. And the paper. To solve any problem, you have to understand in your mind first and break into logical sequences. And without any pen, pencil, paper, close your eyes, you can solve that one because that is written in your memory. And this I wanted you should improve it. You had the potential, but you would not have done otherwise. You would have sat here, sat there, read a novel, and you would have wasted your talent. He treated me 4 years and he did not tell me why. He said, I was waiting for your graduation. After I completed B, he said, was it helpful to you? I said, sir, my first rank is because of you, because the moment I see a question, I will realize the complexity of the question, break into logical pieces, remember without holding my hand like this, I will come to know, and I will just write the answers. It's all because of my teacher. He encouraged me to take any problem, even in parliament, I don't make notes. I remember, I just not remembering. I analyze the problem, only date and something I have to refer, because I'm old now. But by and large, I analyze the problem, keep it in my mind. If I forget something, then I ask my heart, is it right, is it wrong? Then I will give extempore speech. I have never given a written speech in my life, in my 75 years, thanks to my teachers. If Mr. Wernecker would not have been there, I would not have done. Whenever somebody takes a pen and a paper, I think of him. You can train your mind rigorously, continuously. Without all that also you can do, provided you have a discipline. And teachers give you discipline. Teachers, you come to this, children, you come to this school like a sugar cane. You go out like a white sugar. How do you do that? What happens? School is a sugar factory. When you go to sugar factory, there is the sugar cane, it is beaten up, juice is taken, crushed, boiled, impurities were taken out, good things, some chemicals are added, at the end you get white sugar. School is exactly like that. You do not know anything, you come, sugar is washed, your mind is cleaned. They crush you because that gives a lot of homework. You may not like it, but you don't want to do many things, they tell you to do that one. It's crushing. Then if you don't do, they will scold you or they will tell you this is not correct. That is boiling, removing the dirt, adding good things with a good culture of Lamata Saraswati Shloka or something connected with the prayer, and at the end you come as a white sugar. Please remember, children, this is the best time in your life is school. Your mind is like a wet wall. I always tell in every school, your mind is a wet wall. Teachers are sharp glass pieces, they write it on the wall. When the wall is dried, the picture remains, even though you become old. Teachers are those people who take a stone and make a statue. Those people, where there's a mud, they make a statue and in the kiln and make it permanent. So please respect teachers because they shape your life.
That's a very inspirational answer for all the teachers and educationists out here, ma'am. Thank you so much. There's an incident that comes, ma'am, of Yudhishthir and Yaksh, where Yaksh asks Yudhishthir that what is fleeter or faster?
Yaksha Prashne.
Yaksha Prashne. So in that...
You are a very well-read mythological person.
Thank you so much.
I'm sure, otherwise the people will not even know Yaksha Prashne.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So Yaksh asks Yudhishthir that what is fleeter or faster than wind? And he says that mind. In today's day and time, when the screen time is running into hours, when all of us, adults or children, are addicted to our phones, what is the solution and how we should inculcate the habit of reading, writing, reflecting, ma'am?
Yaksha also asks one question, which is most surprising in life. Have you read that? Yeah.
That everybody has to die.
Yeah, very fantastic. Who is a friend of one who stays at home? There is one more question. When I was 8 or 9 years old, I have read that. It's the wife, and I rebelled at that age and said, when my teacher taught, I said, why? Who is a friend of one who stays at home? Why do you say it's man? She may be a woman, no? She is the woman who stays at home. Then who is her companion? My rebellion came by that question, I remember. Well, today's era, you cannot say, I will eliminate AI, I will eliminate digital. It is not possible. Let us accept it. Let us accept certain realities of life. AI helps you a lot. It saves your time a lot. Okay? But it is not ultimate. It is a data-driven. If the data is wrong, it gives you a wrong result. Okay? So you should know when to use, how much to use. Like you have a knife, you cut an apple, you can hurt a person. It is left to you how to use. Similarly, I tell all children and their parents first, use computer, or nowadays not even computer, your phone, minimize the time, use it only when you need. Not to see what is the, there are many ways people use it. What is the time? No phone. Sorry, no watch. Look at the phone. Okay? Keep an alarm, everything on that. Don't become dependent on that. Use it like a tool. Don't discard it. Use it like a tool. If there is a book available, I would prefer, like I wrote Tides of Time, Bharat's Journey. I said I will not use AI because AI will not know India's old system, Sanatana Dharma. It does not know our culture. That many questions, that much data is not there. It may give you wrong data. So I always cross-reference books. So please remember, AI is a tool. Computer is a tool. It is Alauddin and the magic lamp. So whenever you want, use it. Rub that and use it like Alauddin used. But remaining time, you must use it. Number one, sports. Someone told me, I want to be a sportsman. I was so happy. And your own Virat Kohli has done so well. So you all must be very happy about it. Spend time on sports. Spend time on conversation. It's a great communication skill. One day I went to my friend's house and she said, it's a family time. I said, okay, I will come at family time only. What you people do? Father was on a computer, wife was on a laptop, son was on an iPad, daughter was on a phone. I said, is it a family time? Everybody sits in the same place but with all digital devices. Family time or a friend's time means, without that, talking to each other. Talking to each other, great therapy in life. Okay, great therapy, great communication. I have seen brilliant scholars in computer science, actually. My subject is in that. Unable to write their biodata properly, unable to face an interview properly. They do not know. You give them a code, they will write a fantastic program. But life requires communication. When you are unhappy, you have to communicate. When you are happy, you have to communicate. When you agree, you have to communicate. When you disagree, you have to communicate. And communication skill, there is no course, you can take a course after a PUC or after your degree. Communication skill starts with friendship in school. Two people fight, then they will realize, they talk. This is all emotional development with communication. So I tell all children, use computer or AI, any digital devices, social media, as much as possible. As much as you need. Don't spend as much as possible. Use it as much as you need. Like puri is very nice. You can't eat 50 puris. Okay? Similarly, use them whenever you need, but don't become the slave of that. Spend time on the grounds. Spend time with your friends. Try to communicate and spend time reading books. Reading is a great joy. And it's not that you have to read my books. You can read any book. Okay? Reading is a great habit. Don't lose it.
That's a very encouraging answer, ma'am.
I'm a teacher, Until the next bell rings, I talk. And your question may be small, my answer will be large. Because in class, any question is asked, I always used to give a long answer so that, I taught higher, BMBA level, MCA level. The person who sits in the last bench also should understand. So it becomes a habit. Explanation for everything. So children tell me, women talk more, teachers talk more, and system analysts talk more, politicians talk more, I have all the four. Next.
It's a very encouraging, ma'am, and we're delighted that you're giving lengthy answers and teaching us and inspiring us. Ma'am, under the new education policy 2020, there has been a focus on the 3-language formula and also the focus on Indian languages. So what is your take on that, and what is the role for our educational institutions?
It is left to the parents and educational institute. I did my 10th class with only Kannada medium, all Kannada, including chemistry, physics, like Bhauta Shastra, Rasayana Shastra, Jiva Shastra, that kind. Because we did not have a choice in those days. But I want to tell parents and teachers, you teach whatever parents they want it. It is left to you. I should not interfere because I am no longer an active parent. My grandchildren are in 10th class. So I am not worried much about that. Let their parents worry, I say. My job is over about 25 years back, so why should I worry? It is a choice between the school and the parents, what they feel the best. Okay? But I want to request all of them, it is nice to have mother tongue. How you teach, what class you teach is left to you, because mother tongue is not just a language. It also connects you to your culture. If you know Kannada, in my case, it was my mother tongue, I know Karnataka culture. If you know Hindi, then you know your culture of your society. If you know Tamil, you know the society of the Tamil Nadu. So language is not just to speak, it connects to culture. Number one. I give more importance in education is also English, because English is a window to the best opportunities in the world. You may be excellent in your mother tongue solving all the problems, but when you want to go to the neighboring state, from North India you come to South India, you cannot get a job. If in Karnataka I know only Kannada, then I cannot have clients who are abroad. Okay, particularly English. It is not that, we say the English is the best, but English is a language which is covered entire globe, the majority of the countries. And the difference between China and India, I always tell is, we have better speaking, English speaking people who can connect to the West. And if you get a client anywhere, that was our policy in Infosys, client is the God. Chalo, wherever the client go, serve him so that you get your projects and money. So English is more of a commercial, professional language you must master. Mother tongue you must learn. It connects to your culture. And learning more language is always fun. I realized it, maybe because I did a lot of social work. So I learned 7-8 languages. Sometimes I had teacher and I learned it. Because more the language, I connected to more people. And when you are young, you can learn many languages. Who says you can learn only 2? You can learn even 5. I learned Marathi. My father was a doctor in Maharashtra, until the age of 6 or 7. Even today I am very fluent in Marathi because I learned when I was 3. Then later I got a teacher to learn in Tamil because I wanted to work in Tamil Nadu. I said, let me have a teacher first to read and write, so that I read the board first. More the language, better you connect with the people. And in my work, foundation work, it is a compassion work. I talk in English. The person who is suffering will not understand a word if I am working in the tribal people in Orissa. So, better you just learn more language. When you grow up, you have the choice. It is like when you stitch a petticoat, we always stitch it longer. You can always cut it. But you cut it short, then you can't make it long. So is language. Learn as many languages as possible, not because of the government policy or anything, because language is a connecting bridge between 2 islands, 2 people of 2 states. Please learn. It's a parent's opinion and school's opinion what you want to teach.
Thank you so much for the answer, ma'am. With the advent of AI, there's a lot of concern, particularly regarding the employment opportunities that will be there in the future. So what is your suggestion to the senior students in particular, that how should they plan their career trajectory and which streams to take?
50 years back when computers started, it was exactly like this. I was the first batch of computer science graduate in Institute of Science that year. Everyone told me, don't take computers here. Who will give? Where is my scope? There is no scope at all for computers. People used to think. But computers actually gave a lot more jobs than we imagined. Any new thing comes, immediate our reaction is, it will take away the jobs. No. But AI, they should be trained in AI in a different way, so that the skill set should be different than normal course. And that can create a lot more jobs. Traditional coding, traditional speech, traditional things, it will definitely replace. But if you are out of the box and learn the technique of AI, where to use and where you can save time, it will give you a lot more opportunities. But budding authors here, I want to tell, also teachers who teach literature here, I want to tell, no day AI will replace creativity. When somebody speaks, with the AI help, I can make out immediately, this is AI speech. It is not from the heart. Heart cannot be replaced. Emotion cannot be replaced by AI. So we have always an advantage for creative authors that AI will not affect us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the answer, ma'am. Prime Minister Narendra Modi talks about Viksit Bharat 2047. What is your vision for India 2047, ma'am?
I'm not... I'm a 75 years old, so 47 is too long for me to stay and live. Okay. However, yes, it is important. We should work towards a goal. A person without a goal is a ship without a captain. We should have vision for what we work. And to be Viksit Bharat, what we require hard work first, which our Prime Minister always tells us, hard work. And we should be very proud about our country, which our Prime Minister made us very proud. India is not just a piece of land. It is one of the ancient civilizations. From Mohenjo-daro, Harappa to this year, we live in that. Most civilizations in the world changed, including Egypt, Mesopotamian, Greek, everyone changed due to over a course of time. But we remained strong because our value system, our land has many great scholars. We should be proud about our past, but we should think about future as well. You should not dwell in the past. Once upon a time we were great. We want to be great again. And that is, I consider the Viksit Bharat. For that you have to work hard, because it is not a computer. Press a button, you get a reply. No, it is not that. You have to work hard towards Viksit Bharat. Work with happiness, work with identity, work with pride to make our country great again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I'll open the stage for Q&A by children. All the students who are interested in asking questions, they can come forward. The mic will be given to you and you can ask your question to ma'am.
I have a request, one person, one question. Don't waste time saying that your books are fantastic and all. That you don't worry, sales will give me that figure. Ask me directly one question. I will answer as much as I have capacity. Don't repeat the question.
Good morning.
Come here, I want to see your face. In college, when I used to teach, I said, okay, I want to see the student's face, then only I will talk. Yes, beta, ask question.
Good morning. The values in your life are deeply inspiring. And I wanted to ask how your upbringing has helped you shape your decisions and your values.
Very good question. Actually, I come from a middle class family. I don't come from a rich family. I was married to an unemployed man. Okay? And this is a jackpot later, it hit us. My values even today are the same. Thanks to various people, not me alone. Like many rivers can make an ocean. Like many people will influence you in life. My teachers in school. My teacher, even now she is there. She is 92 or 93. I go and meet her. She started habit of reading. She taught me the love or joy of reading. She said, when you have time, what do you do? I said, I'll sit here and sit there. She said, no, instead of sitting there, sit with a book. Okay? So I am grateful to my teacher who told me, don't waste time. Time is more precious than gold or money. It will not come back. So use that time to learn more. Of course, my teacher Revankar, I told, who taught me, do all mental things because you may not have pen and pencil, but mind is always with you, a discipline. To some extent, my grandparents, my grandfather was a high school teacher. Okay? I come from a teacher's family. My mother was a school teacher. My father is a professor in a medical college. My sister is a professor in a medical college. My brother is a professor at Caltech. Okay? I'm married into a teacher's family. My father-in-law is a high school teacher. My husband's brother is a professor in college. Only odd man out is my husband who started Infosys. So when you come from a teacher's family, you have different value system. For us, books are more important than dress. Library is more important than, a get together. Even in a discussion, we should always have some knowledge. Use every day to better yourself with knowledge. So, my teachers and my upbringing with a teaching background, and my grandparents, my grandfather was a Sanskrit scholar. He talked all these things what you talked. He always said, Danam priyavak sahitam, Shraddha hi danam, Ashraddha hi nadanam. Taught the fundamental of philanthropy, compassion, and love everyone. My grandmother taught me, for learning anything, age is no bar. So I wrote how I taught my grandmother to read. At the age of 62, she started learning alphabet, became an avid reader. These are a few people I can think of. But there are many, many people who have come in my life, taught me, like House of Tatas taught me, kindness to employees and compassion to people who suffer in our country, because we don't own this wealth. We are only trustees of this wealth. Our real work should be for the poor people. Thanks to J.R.D. Tata. Many more. Dhanyavad.
Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, we have read that during your engineering days at BVB College of Engineering and Technology in Hubli, you were the only female student and even faced challenges like the absence of a ladies' washroom. May I ask how you managed such situations at that time, and what were some other difficulties you faced as the only female student?
You must have read How to Beat Boys. I have written that book. Because in those days, 1968, I joined engineering college. Your parents were not born at that time. Okay? The concept in the society in those days was, the communication was so, there was no like today Facebook and all, Insta, nothing was there. The communication skills were very low. Media was very low. The concept was, engineering is not meant for girls. It is only meant for boys. How a girl can do engineering? How a man can give birth to a baby? He can't. So a girl cannot do engineering. That kind of a foolish logic was there. So when I decided to do engineering, I had to face a lot. Number one, in the family only. My boss told me, you don't do unnecessary all these things. You will bring dishonor to my brother. My grandfather said, who was a school teacher, he told me, you are very good in history. Do history, don't do engineering. My grandmother, who became literate at that time, she told me, Beta, you may do engineering. Who will marry you? Because no man will marry an engineer. They never knew. Across Tungabhadra river, there was Narayan Murthy. Okay? So everybody has their own problems. But I had a passion. I believed in applied science. I told, I'm not doing anything legally, ethically wrong. I'm a student, Vidyarthi. Who is a Vidyarthi? One who considers learning as money. Vidya plus Arthi. I said, I'm a Vidyarthi. So I want to learn. I'm not doing anything wrong things. And I want to do applied science. Boys never accepted me in their class. They will throw paper arrows at me. They will send a chit. सजन रे झूठ मत बोलो सुधा के पास जाना है ना हाथी है ना घोड़ा है from तीसरी मंजिल. And they never talk to me. They will never share notes with me. I said, okay. That time I remember, Atmahi Atmano Bandhur, Atmahi Ripu Atmana. I don't want anybody's friendship. I don't want anybody's compassion. I don't want anybody's help. I am the best friend to myself. I will be the worst enemy to myself if I don't study well. So, throughout my 8th semester, I did not take a single day leave or off. There was a wedding in the family. I did not go. I said, no, I am not going. Because I don't want to ask notes from anybody else. When I passed first semester, I stood first to the university. I laughed and I said, who said engineering is boys' domain? Knowledge does not have gender. The mind has a gender. I can beat the boys in their own game. So I had lots of difficulties, but I had a passion to excel. And I did sacrifice a lot. I did not attend any weddings. First semester exam will be over. I will bring all the notebooks, keep it aside. I will open the second semester books. That day evening I will start, because I never wanted to depend on anybody. Later part of my college, second year, third year, boys will come and ask me notes. My maiden name was Kulkarni. Kulkarni, do you have notes? Do you have your own question? I used to make my own question paper. So they will come and ask my help. And I never asked anybody. That's only because of the disciplined mind, thanks to my teachers. Disciplined family, where money was not important, education was excellent. Discipline to the teaching fraternity, who always taught me the best. And I absorbed the best. Dhanyavad.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes, I wanted to ask that why boys are not coming. I know girls are smarter than boys, but they are also smart.
Good morning.
On lighter side, beta. Tell me.
Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, we truly admire your deep love for reading, which reflects so beautifully in your writing. May I ask what inspired this passion?
Creativity, beta. Somebody I met, Captain, he's good in dance and music, they told me, they introduced him. That is a kind of creativity. Somebody does a beautiful picture, that's a creativity. Writing, music, dance, these are all performance art. Okay? We are all connected to each other. So, there is no logic in that. And people who are sensitive can create. That is basically, if you are a creating person, you should be a sensitive person. Then anything you see, you create out of it. From waste paper, you can make flowers. Okay? From any tune, anywhere, you can make a beautiful music. Like S.D. Burman always made a fantastic music. But in his childhood, he was in Tripura, he was the prince of Tripura. He heard folk songs. Then he created that in the Bollywood music. Sudha Murty Bandhure. You will not understand, your teachers will understand. Sudha Murty Bandhure. Or many songs, he took it from the folklore, created. So people who are creative, they, with proper sensitivity and lot more reading, you can be a good author. Thank you. One more I can take, I suppose. One more boy if possible. Okay, you finish it. One more boy I will take. It will take an hour for me to reach Parliament.
Good morning, respected ma'am. Your narratives often seem to be rooted in real life experiences. So, may we all know to what extent your personal experiences influence your writings?
Always, every author has a personal experience they are writing. But to what extent depends on what they write. For example, I write fantasy books like The Bird with the Golden Wing, why mango is sweet, why chilies are hot, why onion has layers. These are all fantasy or 100% creativity. There is nothing reality in that. Okay? When I write for children below 10, I do only imagination, creating, and those pieces I bring. But teenage people, I will weave a piece of cloth. Geographical will be real, and imaginary is the situation. So that is meant for teenagers I write. For 20 and above, I write the real. Like how I taught, the day I stopped drinking milk, the old man and his God, wise and otherwise, 3,000 stitches, here, there, everywhere, all these books, they are all 100% real. Or maybe 90-10, 90-10 I can tell. So for whom I address, depending on that, I mix and match. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
But I am always there in every writing. Take one more question. I will take this.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah.
Your stories often carry meaningful social messages. Do you believe storytelling has the power to bring about social change?
Of course. Time immemorial, we have storytelling. It is not I started. Take any time, even in the caveman's time, there was a storytelling, but they did not know how to express in writing. So they wrote the stories on the wall. I had been to Ginza, I think, not Ginza, somewhere in Egypt. It's not Ginza. I took a historian with me, and there were stories on the wall. It's in hieroglyphy. I said, what is that? 7,000 years back, people have written stories that today's children don't listen to us, they don't know hard work, and I don't know what it will happen to them. I said, it is a very familiar message. Then I remembered my father used to tell me, I tell my students same thing. Every generation feels next generation is not as smart as they are. They are not as hardworking as they are. So the stories were written on the walls of the inside pyramid 7,000 years back. Storytelling is an art. Like how Kathak is a dance, one dance form of art. Storytelling is art. You should know whom you tell. I asked your principal, whom I should address today. There is the LKG children, there is one standard one, there is a 12th class. So I have to view my story between 1 to 12, it is not possible. Whom I should tell, because storytelling is a kind of art which should convince the one who listens. And that's the reason we give good values through stories, should be so that it will be convinced by the reader or the listener, and they should adapt in their life. It is always the motto of, in my case, the motto of storytelling is passing on the good values which I learned to my next generation. I consider it as a social work, Good values should be taught. Olden days, grandparents used to be at home, they used to teach, tell. Today grandmothers are in some other place, you are in some other place. Even modern grandmothers are very busy. Saas bhi baby kahuti, they want to see. So that communication people are losing, and I don't want it to be lost. So I wrote these stories for my grandchildren first. Then I said, why only be selfish only to my grandchildren? Let it be to everyone. And based in India, I felt it. They are abroad. How much it is relevant to them, I do not know. I said, no. All children in this my country, I want to write for them. So I became a national Ajji, or the national grandma. One day I was in the airport. Someone was talking, Gopi Ajji, Gopi Ajji. I thought some Ajji was called. Then the child came to me, said, Gopi Ajji, I want your signature. I said, why did you call me Gopi Ajji? He said, have you not written Gopi books? I said, yes. So in that book, what's your name? Gopi Ajji. They don't know my name, but they call me Gopi Ajji, because I made a Ajji character in such a way that she will tell good value stories to all children in my country. Dhanyavad.
Thank you, ma'am.